Hello everybody, this is Tame4Game and today we're going to be taking a look at loops. So let's say you want to repeat a specific code a number of times. What would you do? You have two options. The first is you write a piece of code that just repeats it a specific number of times, or you can manually write that specific code that many number of times. So if we go by the second option, that manually writing one, we will find out that it is really clunky and it's overall really inconvenient. So we always must go by the first option. There is this thing in C# called a loop that just does the same thing. So over here you can see the definition of loop. A loop in a computer program is an instruction that repeats until a specific condition is met. And here you can see why we need loops, so I just explained that now. So let's move on. So there are three different types of loops. Those are the for loop, the do while loop, and the while loop. So let's see in details what they are. First is the for loop. In a for loop, we first define a variable that we mostly name I, and then we check if I is less than or equal to, or equal to some value, and if it's not, then we can either increase I or decrease I what you want. And every time it checks and it increases that I or decreases that I, the code given inside this bracket gets executed. So that's it for the for loops, and we'll get a better understanding of this when we write the code inside of Visual Studio. So now let's move on. Next up is the while loop, and defining it is pretty simple. So we first write the while and then the brackets, and inside of these brackets we write some condition and then the curly brackets, and while that condition is true, the code in the curly brackets will be executed. Next is the do while loop. So what the do while loop does is it does the function given in the curly brackets first, and after it's done executing, then it checks if the condition is met, and if it is met, then again it will do it first and then check. So now let's take a look inside of Unity. Before we go, I just want to tell you what we're gonna make. We are going to make a simple program that just prints out all the numbers from 1 to 10, and we will be using loops for that. So I'm just gonna go inside of Unity. Alright, so here I am in Unity, and I have created this tutorial script which I'm gonna open up inside of Visual Studio. Alright, so here I am inside of Visual Studio, and first of all I'll create a for loop, and inside of that I'll define an integer called I that will have the value of 1, because we want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. And then we'll check if I is less than equal to 10, because if we write less than, then I will just stop at 9, and then we'll do I plus plus. So what this plus plus does is that it just increases the variable I by 1. Then we can give the curly brackets. And now to display all those numbers, we first write debug.log, and inside of these curly brackets we just write the variable I. And now we can give our semicolon at the end of this command and then save this, and now we can just go back inside of Unity. Alright, here I am inside of Unity, and the first thing you want to do is that if your tutorial script is not already there, then you can just drag this onto that. So like this, you can just drag it onto there. But in my case it is, so I'm not going to do it again. Now what I want to do is go to the console, and then I want to hit play. So now inside of the console you can see all the numbers from 1 to 10, and that's exactly what we want. So in this tutorial video, we learned what loops are, why we use them, what are for loops, while loops, and do while loop. So that's it for this tutorial video. Bye guys.